American actor Tom Selleck had a stellar career prior to playing the patriarch of the Reagan family, New York Police Commissioner Frank Reagan, as we may know him today. During the 1980s, Tom Selleck became famous for his portrayal of Thomas Magnum in the popular television series Magnum P.I., for which he won numerous honors. Did you realize that his performance as the investigator wearing the Hawaiian shirt was as iconic? The actor would have played two further legendary parts. In addition, despite Blue Blood's tremendous run, have you heard the actor's thoughts on the show's finale? Stay tuned for further information about the actor and the answers to these questions if you're interested. First, let's examine the origins so we can answer the major question. Actor Thomas William Selleck was born to Martha and Robert Dean Selleck in Detroit, Michigan on January 29, 1945. His dad was a successful real estate businessman, while his mom stayed at home to raise him. The Selleck family includes Robert, the eldest brother, Martha, the youngest sister, and Daniel, the youngest brother. The actor was born in Michigan, but he spent his childhood in Sherman Oaks, California after his family relocated there in 1946. The future actor went to Grant High School and then decided to attend Los Angeles Valley College on his own after graduating to save money. Even as a teenager, Selleck was a towering figure, standing at 6 feet 4 inches tall and commanding attention. So he took advantage of the situation by transferring to the Trojan men's basketball team at USC in his junior year and playing for them. But that's not the whole story of our man. In his early years, Tom Selleck was quite athletic. He played on the university baseball team as both a pitcher and a designated hitter. Being a part of the Trojan Knights and the fraternity Sigma Chi made him quite the multi-talented individual. There were a lot of extracurriculars, but Selleck never really took a shine to any of them. His drama coach was the one who first suggested he give acting a shot. Tom Selleck, who was a senior at the university at the time, dropped out to focus on acting full-time after having been pursuing a degree in business administration. Selleck chose to study under the guidance of Greek producer and director Milton Katselas at the illustrious Beverly Hills Playhouse. During his time there, he honed his acting chops and learnt the ropes. Before he got his draft notice during the Vietnam War, he was planning to make a break for the acting industry. Tom Selleck, like all Americans, eagerly joined the National Coast Guard and served for 6 years, from 1967 to 1973, in the 160th Infantry Regiment. Tom Selleck began dabbling in acting during his final 2 years of military service. Beginning with a string of bit parts, he made his television debut in 1965 and 1967, while still a senior in college, on the American game show The Dating Game. Several modeling and commercial jobs followed from it. At one point, he even posed for Pepsi-Cola. Tom Selleck once became the face of Salem cigarettes and one of Revlon's fragrances, so that wasn't his only modeling gig. There was a lot of interest in the actor, which is not surprising considering his magnetic personality. The actor continued to work steadily, landing roles such as a 1971 Right Guard deodorant commercial and a 1972 Dubonnet assignment starring Farrah Fawcett. In the same year, he appeared in an ad for Safeguard deodorant soap. In 1977, he was the face of the toothpaste close-up campaign. His subsequent popularity was greatly influenced by all of these early advertisements. Mae West, an institution in her own right, encouraged Tom Selleck to join her on set of her American comedy, where he made his film debut. From there, he went on to appear in a string of supporting roles in films like 1971's The 7 Minutes, 1970's The Rockford Files, and 1978's American mystery thriller Coma. He made his acting debut as James Robertson, curator of the American Museum, in the 1972 horror flick Daughters of Satan. Because of his background as a hunter, marksman, and gun collector, Tom Selleck had no trouble stepping into the character of cowboy. He was nominated for a Western Heritage Award in 1997 for his work in 5 feature films: The Sacketts, Concrete Cowboys, The Shadow Riders, Quigley Down Under, and Last Stand at Sabre River. Tom Selleck has an excellent acting record that includes everything from supporting roles to modest speaking parts to starring roles. He remained somewhat unknown until he landed the part of Thomas Magnum. The casting directors finally saw past all the odds and cast him as the series' protagonist. Immediately following the completion of 6 further unaired television pilots, the fact that Selleck was able to land this major role proves that fate will never let you down, if you were unaware. Thomas Magnum was not your average investigator. He embraced his life as a private investigator in a sunny paradise after trading in his Navy SEAL uniform and Vietnam War service for a Hawaiian shirt and a Ferrari 308 GTS. The uniforms may have come and gone, but his humor and intelligence have stayed the same. He still wears the cap and mustache of the Detroit Tigers and uses military strategies to solve murders. Despite only airing for 8 years, Magnum P.I. was widely considered to have been one of the most popular one-hour series of all time until it ended in 1988. After some time had passed, Tom Selleck admitted that, according to his wishes, the Magnum film would have continued directly from the series, with Magnum returning to the Navy and achieving the rank of good officer. Selleck claims he has been waiting for producers to express interest in producing a Magnum film since before the Magnum P.I. revival occurred. He recalled that not a single one of them had contacted him in any way. He was disappointed because he was willing to assist them with it. I'd be surprised if they didn't recast him as a puberty-stricken teenager of 17 years old. The point of a reunion event isn't to illustrate how much everyone has aged. That's not what makes a good film. Selleck stated at the time that it should inform you about what had transpired. Tom Selleck was outstanding not only as Frank Reagan and Thomas Magnum, but also as Richard Burke. During the 2nd season of the popular 90s sitcom Friends, he played the role of Monica's older, charming, and complicated boyfriend. His character, an ophthalmologist who had gone through a divorce and was friends with Monica's parents, served to emphasize the generational divide between them while also demonstrating the strong bond and dynamic between them. Richard and Monica kept their romance under wraps due to their age difference. Nonetheless, they were never able to tie the knot because of his insecurity about starting a family, which was a devastating blow. Tom Selleck's agents discouraged him against appearing on the show, and he ended up only appearing in 6 episodes. The change of events was positive, though, as the actor's performances. Richard garnered a nomination for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series at the 2000 Emmys. His ability to adapt to many genres is further evidence of his versatility as an actor, if it's a comedic or action film. In 2005, he landed the role of a transplanted cop named Jesse Stone in a TV series adaptation of Robert B. Parker's books. He was both the main character and producer for the 9 episodes of the series. Jesse Stone, Thin Ice, the 6th part, included the actor's writing talents, putting together a fresh tale that the audience loved. He returned to television drama in 2007 for a spectacular 5th season on NBC's Las Vegas. After playing Thomas Magnum, he returned to regular drama work as a Jay Cooper, the new proprietor of the Montecito Casino. It was another outstanding performance from the actor. He expertly filled in for James Caan, who left the program that very episode, and the role was his to fill. In his peak, Tom Selleck was undeniably a heartthrob. Even today, in his twilight years, he possesses the same magnetic presence. Having said that, the handsome actor wed Jacqueline Ray, a former American actress and model, in 1971 with a similarly stunning bride. Kevin Tonick, who would later become the drummer for the American rock band Tonick, was adopted by Selleck during this first marriage. The actor and his first wife were married for 11 fruitful years before they divorced in 1982. Tom Selleck's second marriage to Jilly Joan Mack ended on August 7, 1987, and he found himself standing at the altar as she walked down the aisle, having fallen in love again not long after. Hannah, their daughter, was born on December 16, 1988, to them. If you want to know more about the actor, what else can you find out? A great deal of items? Even as a young man, he had a wide range of interests, and you'd be astonished to hear his comments on the finale of his popular TV series, Blue Bloods. He played on the collegiate baseball and basketball teams and is a huge outdoorsman, as we indicated before. Indoor and beach volleyball are 2 of his favorite sports, and he has even swum for the Honolulu Outrigger Canoe Club as their outside hitter. A former teammate of his, Dennis Berg, couldn't help but brag about him in a 2011 interview with Volleyball USA because he was such an important player. Even though he was busy filming Magnum P.I., the actor was a fantastic colleague, according to Burke. Burke elaborated by saying that Selleck worked so hard in practice and games because he was proud to be a part of such a talented group. Not only that, but Tom Selleck was patient with everyone and relished the opportunity to perform in front of huge audiences in national tournaments, as opposed to his more intimate affairs with close friends and family. The ice hockey game is another one of his favorite sports. He is a regular sight at Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, where he goes to watch the Los Angeles Kings play when he has the chance. He decided that playing baseball on the college level wasn't going to cut it, so he became a minority owner of the Detroit Tigers, a team he had loved since he was a little kid, once he saved up enough money. When Tom Selleck was cast in the 1992 film Mr. Baseball, being a minority owner was a huge help. He sought out the opportunity to work out with the squad throughout spring training in order to prepare for the role. The actor devoted 3 weeks to hitting practice and even played in an exhibition game against the Cincinnati Reds, fully immersing himself in the character. Selleck received priceless experience that day despite striking out after fouling off 3 pitches thanks to the surprising decision taken by then-manager Sparky Anderson of the Detroit Tigers to use him as a pinch hitter during the game. It helped him comprehend professional baseball better, which in turn improved his performance in the movie. His image of a grizzled baseball player in Mr. Baseball was definitely influenced by this intense training session. American actor Tom Selleck has already established himself as Frank Reagan in Thomas Magnum, but did you know that he nearly played a legendary character if Magnum P.I.'s producers had let him? In case any of you are unaware, when offered the part of the sardonic and humorous adventurer Indiana Jones, Tom Selleck was actually George Lucas's first choice. Although Harrison Ford ended up playing the part and the rest is history, it's fair to say that both actors became legends in their own right. What made the whole situation intriguing was that writers' strikes delayed the filming of Magnum P.I. for more than 6 months. Even if he had agreed to play Indiana Jones, he would have finished filming before production on the series began. Unfortunately, that is the way life is. The good news is that Tom Selleck had 8 seasons to play Thomas Magnum. Selleck confessed to Build series in 2017 that his partnership with Magnum was the finest decision of his life. I'm pleased with myself for fulfilling my obligation. Plus, there were many who insisted that, in order to unlock Raiders, you had to hop in a car, smash into a brick wall, get hurt, and then exit Magnum. I mentioned that we don't look at each other very much, and I got to tell my parents that. With that, I proceeded, "Wow, that's not too bad, is it, Magnum? Would you like to know something even more intriguing?" Tom Selleck was offered more iconic roles than only Indiana Jones. Furthermore, his career trajectory would have been altered had he decided to play this role. Tom Selleck turned down a position as Mitch Buchanan in the hit TV series Baywatch, citing a desire to avoid being perceived as a sex symbol, in addition to the exciting role of Indiana Jones. David Hasselhoff was the one who ended up getting the part. Tom Selleck is well known at this point for being an extremely committed actor. Like everyone else, he pays attention to his immediate environment. These qualities of his were acknowledged, and he was bestowed numerous accolades. In 2000, he was bestowed an honorary doctorate by Pepperdine University. Additionally, he was actively involved in the Joseph and Edna Josephson Institute of Ethics, where he advocated for ethical principles. A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was bestowed upon Tom Selleck in 1986, and he went on to receive the Golden Plate Award from the American Academy of Achievement in 1989, among other accolades. The actor portraying the New York City Police Commissioner actually gets into legal issues? Who would have imagined? Nobody here. However, no one else's safety was intended. Actually, water issues were the real culprit. I repeat, that is correct. During the worst drought that California has ever experienced, which occurred in 2015, this occurred. The actor was hit with a lawsuit by the Quigley Municipal Water District, who claimed that he had diverted more than 1.4 million gallons of water to his avocado orchard in the Hidden Valley District. He maintained his innocence throughout the proceedings, but a $2168555 payment settled the matter and covered the investigation costs incurred by the Quigley District. It wasn't over a violent incident, at least. As long as he tends to his own farm, we have no problem with him. Despite his advanced years, Tom Selleck's portrayal of Frank Reagan in Blue Bloods is a compelling one. Actually, the man could have kept playing this role for a long time, but alas, all good things must end. Part 1 will conclude spectacularly, and it will begin broadcasting in February, but not before conveying his deep affection for the program and its viewers. According to the actor's statement released in response to the series finale, working on a show that not only celebrates the men and women who protect and serve in New York City, but also displays the importance of family for the past 13 years was an honor and privilege. It has been an honor to work on over 275 episodes with such a remarkable cast, crew and staff of actors, writers, producers, directors, and more. We are eternally grateful to CBS Network and CBS Studios for all the support they have given us. And to the fans that joined us for supper each Friday night, we are truly grateful. To TV insider Tom Selleck gave an incredibly honest interview and discussed his feelings regarding the show's aspects of which he was most proud. Selleck thinks that playing a parent who is both weak and flawed is something he is proud of. According to Selleck's interview with TV Insider, Dad is typically portrayed as the dweeb in TV ads. Although it is not my purpose on the show, the byproduct serves as a symbol of a significant patriarch in the family. In our culture, that is becoming less common. As we listen to him speak about Blue Bloods, we can't help but think back to the time, 13 years ago, when he still struggled to portray a no-nonsense police commissioner. In a 2010 interview with Weekend Entertainment, Selleck discussed how difficult the part was, citing the fact that he had to play an older character than his previous role as Magnum. Aside from his role as Frank Reagan, he also thinks the weekly supper the Reagan family had was a factor in their success. As far as Tom Selleck is concerned, it's the show's most beloved segment. When the show's executive producer Leonard Goldberg presented him the 8-page dinner scene, he was first taken aback. The actor reasoned that they would only trim it because of its length. However, Goldberg had surprised him by stating that the dinner scene would be the show's focal point, and boy, was he correct. Even though he has played Frank Reagan for 13 years, Tom Selleck is still not prepared to leave Blue Bloods. A lot of people aren't ready to say goodbye to Blue Bloods, he said to TV Insider, and CBS will soon find out how many people really adore the show. According to the actor, Blue Bloods is doing better than ever before, and he's certain that the show's popularity will only grow. What's more, they still have plenty of ideas to implement. The actor wasn't exactly thrilled about the prospect of settling down at his ranch in Ventura, California, when asked if he was prepared to do so. When asked about his feelings about acting, Selleck said that he likes it. He has stated his intention to labor for as long as they wanted him to, despite the fact that he acknowledges it is more difficult now that he is older. It's hardly shocking that he himself has stated that Frank, his character, isn't prepared to leave the program just yet. He gets into conflicts because he wants someone to fire him and relieve him of all this responsibility, but his hyperactive sense of duty keeps getting in the way. Multiple sources have spilt the beans about Tom Selleck's preparations for retirement, despite the actor's statements that he is still prepared to keep working in the field. Those in the know say the actor is considering retiring to his avocado ranch in California from the spotlight shortly, in order to allow his cherished wife Jilly more time of his presence. We would understand if he wanted to do this. Taking care of the 65-acre property could be somewhat labor-intensive. The property, which is located in the Thousand Oaks Westlake Village region, was supposedly owned by the late, great American singer Dean Martin. Being a Hollywood A-lister usually means having a lot of properties. However, as Tom Selleck's 2012 interview with People shows, he adores this property and speaks highly of it. Therefore, I enjoy working outside on the ranch, whether it's clearing brush or repairing roads. Going outside to work up a sweat is much better than slaving away on a stationary bike at the gym, where I despise being, and it's also cheaper than hiring someone else to do it. Rumor has it that Tom Selleck is already planning to spend more time at his ranch and with his family, including his 35-year-old daughter Hannah, who is a successful equestrian according to those in the know. Also, his next book, You Never Know, is due out on May 7th, so that's something to get excited about. The actor gives a personal account of his life in the book. From his humble beginnings in California and his time at university to his meteoric rise to fame. Not only does he revel in his successes, but he also discusses the obstacles and temptations he encountered in it. The book will surprise fans with numerous unknown stories, both personal and professional, and set the record straight on some myths, so fans can't wait to read his biography. His real-life friendships with famous stars like Frank Sinatra, Carol Burnett, and Sam Elliott will also be revealed to readers, as will the genesis of his famed Magnum character. However, we can still enjoy the first half of Blue Bloods last season on CBS till then. This concludes our film tribute to the life and career of American actor Tom Selleck.